Welcome, class of 2026. Welcome, faculty, staff, family, and friends. Please stand for the national anthem sung by the Commodore Singers.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Welcome. I want to give everyone an update. If you notice in the program, Senator Sanders will be coming here this evening. His flight has been on the tarmac since 9:45 this morning, but they landed and he is expected to arrive around 6:35, so he will make it. It might change the order of things a little bit, so please just go with the flow. Every year, I promise to keep this short, and every year it gets harder and harder. I can't believe that we started VUHS together. I have known you all for 4 years, so today I'll do my best to honor you while keeping it real. Just kidding, keeping it short. Look under your chairs. You'll find starbursts, goldfish, mints, and a water bottle with a wristband. Take a moment and put the wristband on now so you don't forget it. And it's real hot out, so take a sip of water. These things are small things, but they represent the way you've shown up for each other. A quick check-in, a shared laugh, a hand offering just what someone needed. Take that with you. The world needs more people who feed others, literally and figuratively. Your story has had many chapters over 18 years. Kindergarten, step up during COVID, middle school field trips, championship games, amazing musicals, and now graduation. Through all of these, you have shown up for each other. That Commodore spirit will carry you forward through your next chapter as you take care of yourselves and others. As you turn the page, let your heart and compass guide you. Use your brain to navigate the practical, like deadlines and logistics, but let your heart decide the people you bring along with you or your journey's destinations. Take a moment and reflect on where your journey will take you. For some, your job will be your joy. For others, it'll fund your joy. And for the truly lucky ones, it will be both. Before I get lost in my own feelings, let me tell you what I see when I look at you. You are voracious, engaged, receptive, gracious, eager, noteworthy, non-judgmental, eclectic, sassy, unique, needed, inspirational, outstanding navigators. You are Vergennes Union. So as you leave here, remember, the small things matter, your heart knows the way, and you are already enough. Next, I would like to invite Gina LeBeau to the stage.
Good evening. My name is Gina LeBeau, and I'm honored to welcome you all to the celebration of the graduating class of 2026. On behalf of this class, I would like to thank you all for coming. Every teacher, parent, guardian, sibling, friend, coach, and anyone else who has been a part of this journey, thank you. Without your support, we would not be sitting here today. High school has not been easy, but despite the challenges, the unexpected friendships, the study groups during free blocks, although usually no work would get done at all because we were too busy talking or playing Roblox. Sorry, Jody. We made it through. There were wins and losses. Shout out to the girls' soccer team for being state champs this year. There were late night crunches, staying after school for extra help, doing homework on game buses and between musical scenes, rushing to work as soon as the bell rings, and even giving haircuts in the turret, all to balance school with life. And despite everything, we are here. Although we've spent these past 4 years worrying about grades and graduation requirements, that's not what will matter now. In 10 years, we won't remember our GPA or the grade we wanted but didn't get. What we will remember is the people, the connections, the growth that can't be measured by a report card grade. So I want you all to forget the stress, the disappointment, the weight of the textbooks in your bag, because that's not what's important anymore. What's important is being here, now, looking at these people you have grown up with, who you'll one day remember. So take a deep breath, and don't think about what came before, or what's coming after. Be here, now. Welcome to the commencement ceremony of the class of 2026. Sorry guys, I messed that up. Now please enjoy Landslide, arranged by Phoebe Raphael, and written by Fleetwood Mac, and sung tonight by Phoebe Raphael, Eleanor Wilkinson-Sachs, and myself.
Took my love, I took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Oh, well, I've been changing, 'cause I built my life around you, but time makes even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Oh, I'm getting older too. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. I'm getting older too. reflection in the snow-covered hills when the landslide brought me down. Can the landslide bring me down? Bring me down. Bring me down.
Wow. That was an amazing arrangement. Thank you, Phoebe, Ellie, and Gina. Now I would like to invite to the podium the senior class vice president, Kyan Barkham.
So I just don't even say it's my part.
To that part, yeah.
Like any of it.
Yeah. You'll say it when he gets here.
Okay.
Hi, guys. Okay. Good evening, family, friends, faculty, and staff, and congratulations, class of 2026. My name is Kyan Barkham, and I am truly honored to be standing in front of you all tonight. Looking around the room at people I've grown up with most of my life, I cannot help but feel grateful and emotional. It is hard to say goodbye to the friendships, memories, and moments that have shaped us on who we are today. But there's also an excitement knowing each one of us is about to begin a new chapter filled with endless possibilities. Today is not just about leaving the past behind. It's about celebrating everything we have overcome to reach this moment. Every challenge, every success, and every memory has led us here. And although we may go our separate ways after tonight, the experiences we have shared and the connections we have made will stay with us forever. Someday, years from now, this will simply be a story we all tell our kids back when I was in school. But truly, over the past few years, I've grown more than I ever expected, especially in the past few months, as life has begun to feel more real than ever. Through all the uncertainty, one idea has kept me grounded. You are not ahead, behind, or late. You are simply living a timeline that belongs to you. I came to this realization through a chaotic mix of emotions, something I think many of us seniors know a little too well. It started during a heated conversation with my parents about what I wanted to do after high school. Many of us know the overwhelming pressures that comes with being asked questions such as, what is your plan, or what are you doing for the rest of your life? These can feel impossible as we are simply just beginning to figure out who we are. Feeling frustrated and overwhelmed, I went to my room to cool off. But no matter how hard I tried, I could not stop thinking about all the things racing through my mind. I realized I needed someone to talk to. So I called my aunt. To describe my aunt in the best possible way, she is the second strongest, most hard-headed, most stubborn woman I know. My mom still takes the #1 spot for that. My aunt is the type of person who can read a situation instantly and won't let you hide behind your excuses or half-truths. But she does so in a way that comes from care and not criticism. She has always been someone I look up to in my life, so when she answered my call, she immediately knew something was wrong. I told her how difficult it had been, feeling like I was falling behind by taking a gap year, how isolated I felt from everybody else's timeline, and how uncertain I had become of what I was supposed to do next. Before I could finish, she stopped me and said, "What do you mean you're unsure about your decision? You, out of everybody, should know these are the right choices for you. And comparing where you are in life to everybody else makes no sense because it is your path." This moment has stuck with me since, and I've realized I was never truly unsure about my decisions. I was just too focused on everybody else's opinions, expectations, and timelines instead of trusting my own. As I sat there crying while listening to my 5-year-old cousin yelling my name in the background, my aunt said one more thing that has stayed with me since. Life is lived best when you have confidence in your own decisions. Ever since that phone call, I have made the effort to trust my choices I stand by with confidence. There's definitely a certain freedom that comes with living life for yourself rather than trying to keep pace with everybody else around you. Before I graduate tonight, I want to take a moment to thank my two biggest supporters in my life. My parents, who have sacrificed so much to give my brother and me the opportunities in life that we have been fortunate to have. You have filled my childhood with unforgettable adventures around the world, unconditional love, and encouraged my passion for animals and nature, while teaching me to experience life to the fullest. No words will ever truly express how grateful I am for everything you have given me, the love, the guidance, and opportunities you have provided continue to motivate me to work hard in my education and life. My hope is that one day I can give back even a fraction of what you've given me. I love you both so much. And lastly, to the class of 2026, if there's one message I hope that stays with you today, it is to believe in yourself. Trust the decisions you make, and don't measure your journey against anybody else's. The moment you stop comparing your path and start embracing it as your own is the moment you open yourself up to going further than you ever thought possible. I would be introducing Bernie next, but he's not here, so I don't know.
Thank you. I'll call you back up when he does get here. You'll still get to introduce him. Next, please welcome the Commodore Singers and their rendition of In My Life, written by the Beatles.
Wyckoff has been there for us through many of years of homecoming floats, dances, academics, and the major of years of high school. Please welcome Chris Wyckoff to the stage.
Well, hello, everyone. I hope we can cool down a little bit here. This is a multicolored shirt. There's lots of colors. Well, thank you, Gina, and thank you all. Especially thank you, the class of 2026, for being crazy enough to nominate me to come up here and talk to you guys. I really appreciate it. I also want to thank Superintendent Sheila Soul, Chair of the School Board Mark Koenig, and Principal Jody Chamberlain. Now, this isn't just a perfunctory thank you. This is a very sincere thank you, because it takes a lot of courage to give me a microphone in front of all you people, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. Do not fear. We are here to talk about this incredible graduating class of 2026. Can we all give them a round of applause? So that is a perfect example of the kind of positivity I want to talk about today. It is so important to believe in yourself and surround yourself with people who believe in you and support you as well. I know that every one of you soon-to-be graduates has so much to offer, and you will all make this world a better place. But it really means nothing unless, like Cayenne said, you believe in yourselves. We all know that your brain and how you perceive things can have a huge impact on both your mental and physical health. This is why here at Vergennes, we believe in the growth mindset instead of the fixed mindset, because obviously it's way more productive to believe in yourself than to talk down to yourself and convince yourself that you can't get better and won't be able to learn something. Sadly, negative thoughts like this can be very consuming and have very serious consequences. Here is an extreme example that I personally witnessed when I was a student at Tulane University in New Orleans. There was this perfectly nice young woman named Renee, who I didn't know that well, but she came to some of my gigs, and I noticed that she wasn't there, and some of her friends were talking, and they said she didn't come out because she claimed that someone had cursed her. At first, I kind of laughed that off, but then someone said they saw a chicken foot on her bedside table. Now, you might not know what that is here in Vermont, but we were in 13th Ward, New Orleans, and we knew exactly what that meant. In voodoo, a chicken foot is a mojo, and it's used to protect homes and ward off any evil spirits and curses. So it is clear it didn't matter what I thought. Renee truly believed she was cursed. And from what I was told, she stopped going to classes, barely left her room for almost 2 weeks, and finally her parents came and no one saw her again. The thing I realized is it didn't matter if I didn't believe the curse was real. Renee believed it was real. It was real for her, and so were the consequences that came with it. Luckily, the opposite is true if you surround yourself with positive people who allow you to believe in yourself. Simply put, positivity is the most important ingredient for success. Of course, positivity plus hard work are the ingredients for financial success, but if you feel good about yourself and see all the beautiful things in the world around you, financial success becomes redefined into personal success, which is the joy and contentment you feel in every moment. Sounds easy, right? Come on, everybody, let's just flick that switch and turn off all those negative thoughts and fill our psyche with positivity. Yeah, I know some of you are thinking, okay, bud, sure, whatever you say, because it is not easy. Times are pretty tough right now, and it's hard not to let that affect how you treat others and how you see the world. But it is so important to check yourself when you feel down and appreciate what you do have and use all those positive resources around you. Many of you graduates might remember this lesson from Stephen King's The Body, which we read in 9th grade, and many of you might know this in the film Stand By Me, which was based on Stephen King's book. One of the main points that Stephen King makes is to not let people drag you down. Who you spend time with matters. Known as the mirroring effect, people often subconsciously change their behavior to match the perception and expectations of those around them. So, don't hang out with the naysayers. You all deserve people who believe in you and who will foster your hopes and dreams. It was actually proven in a Harvard study by Robert Rosenthal that when we expect the best from others, we get the best from others, even when we're talking about rats. He randomly assigned rats to 2 different cages. One was basically labeled stupid rats, and then the others were specifically bred smart rats. He then explained this to his students and asked them to coach the rats through various tasks. Rosenthal noticed that the students treated the 2 types of rats differently, and that the special rats got better treatment and more compassion than the quote-unquote stupid rats. And guess what? The smart rats succeeded almost twice as much as the other group. His conclusion is something called the Pygmalion effect, which is when we expect more of each other, we tend to rise to the occasion. I think that is something that not only you graduates, but also all the teachers in the audience should really think about as well. It is so important for each and every one of you to know that we believe in you and know that you can accomplish whatever you set your mind to. And I wrote a little song about that. So I wanted to do a song that was inspired by the great Anne Sullivan, if anybody in the audience remembers Anne Sullivan. So she started a tradition of listing every student's name in a poem at graduation. And I was really, really impressed by that when she was my mentor a long time ago. So I tried to write a song with every student's name. First I have to mention those most near and dear. Yep, my morning meeting, who I had all but senior year. That's Gabe and Elijah, and of course we had faith in Isla and Jaden and mi amigo Alfredo. Then there were a few of you who always came in late. Like Ava, Cayenne, and Jackson, but now you're doing great. I still believe in you. I still believe. Now I have to mention my original OG class. Way back in freshman English, yeah, that was such a blast. There was Abby, Legs, and Kyle, and Houston, what a bunch. And I believe Maya, Izzy, and Lydia were there, but that is just a hunch, but I still believe in you. I still believe. Next there was the girls' soccer team. That was something to behold. With Octavia, Faith, and Ava, opposing teams, they just had to fold. And there was Libby, Ashton, and Quincy, and Amelia was so bold. Then there's that master wrestler, Peyton. He could put you in a cradle hold. But I fully believe in you. I fully believe. I believe in you. When there's darkness and there's clouds, I believe you'll find a way. I believe in you because you'll find a way to see the beauty that surrounds us every day. I remember sophomore year, I said Compass was quite a crew. Here are some names that I recall, just to name a few. This will be fast. There were Teagues, Theo, Peter, James, and Fuller, and Garrett, Evan, Logan, and Hunter. Poor Dempsey just came to work, but that always ended up in laughter. But I still believe in you. I still believe. Then there's the guys on that farm, feeding, hanger, working machines. They don't really give a darn because they know what life really means. That's Rudy, David, Dakota, and Tybalt. And there's Zach, Kenny, and Jose. Yeah, I know that's quite a lot, but now I have nothing more to say, except I still believe in you. I still believe. Oh, I can't forget the theater crew, whether it's public speaking or on the stage. They will entertain and move you because they have so much courage. That's Gina, Phoebe, Carter, and Abby Flint. Oh, they can all sing to be sure. While Josh, Morgan, and Sawyer, they caused a bit of an uproar. And speeches by Ryan, Riker, and Aiden, and Calvin, they made emotions soar. And I fully believe in you. I fully believe. When I see Nyla, Scout, or Ellie, they always say hello. I can't forget Scotty, Maya, or Reese, but I wish I knew you more. And now I have to give a final goodbye to a friend and mentor. That person is Chance Koenig, and he'll fly bright like a meteor. And I fully believe in you. We fully believe. Come on, everybody. We fully believe in you. We fully believe. I'm going to keep playing. I don't care if it's hot. Come on, everybody. One more time. We fully believe in you. We fully believe. Thank you very much. I know that the positivity you guys are giving right now is going to help make my summer amazing, and that's going to give them the extra boost they need in the future. So let's hear it one more time for this amazing class of 2026!
While we do our set change, I would like to invite Kyan Barkham back to the stage.
Okay, guys, now this is my part. Now I'd like to introduce the man who has spent decades fighting for working class people, challenging billionaires, and somehow making the word oligarchy part of everyday conversation. So everyone please help me give a warm welcome to Senator Bernie Sanders.
Thank you. Let me begin by apologizing for being late. I was at the airport in Washington at 10:45. The plane left at 5 p.m., so fun day. And let me congratulate the class of 26. Today is a big day in your lives, and you should be proud of what you have accomplished. And parents, congratulations to you too. Took a little bit of work to get these kids to where they are today. And let me thank the faculty and the staff and the school board and everybody else who are working so hard to make sure these kids have the education they need. And thank you so much for that lovely introduction, by the way. Because I didn't have a whole lot of time, this is the first time in my life I'm going to be reading from an iPad. So if I screw up, you gotta forgive me. Over the last number of months, I have held I've been to a lot of high schools around the state. We've been to Twinfield and Mount Mansfield and Missisquoi Valley, Colchester, Rutland. We've had a virtual town meeting with kids. And what I want to say is, this is a tough time to be young in America. And if you feel a little bit overwhelmed, understand you are not alone. Kids all over this state, kids all over the country who have gone through COVID. You're worried about climate and what that will mean to the future. You're worried about artificial intelligence. How is that going to impact your life? You're worried about a changing economy. What kind of jobs are going to be out there and available to you if you're going to college? You're worried about how you're going to afford to pay for it. You're worried about health care. You're wondering whether you're ever be able to afford a house of your own. So there's a lot of things that are on your minds. And again, you're not alone in feeling that. But what I want to say is our country, as everybody here knows, has gone through some very difficult times throughout our history, some really terrible times, but we have come through it. And I have absolute confidence that we're going to come through the tough times that we're in today, and you guys are going to help us make that happen. As I'm sure everybody here knows, in Vergennes every year you have a beautiful Memorial Day parade, and I try to get to it as often as I can. I've been here many, many times. And one of the really nice things that I like about the parade, beside the fact that it's always well organized and well attended and pays respect to the men and women who have put their lives on the line to defend us, you do something rather interesting. Every year, you have a kid from the high school coming up and reading Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. And I appreciate that because I think Lincoln's Gettysburg Address was one of the most important speeches ever given in the history of our country. So let me remind you of some of what he said on that day, looking out at a battlefield where thousands and thousands of men had died a few days before, including more than a few from the state of Vermont. They'd given their lives for their country. And this is what he said. He said, and I quote, "that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth." That was Abraham Lincoln's extraordinary and radical vision for America. And you live in a country which has, in good times and bad, we have to remember, has an extraordinary history. Back in the 1770s, people like Thomas Jefferson were saying that all men are created equal and entitled to certain rights, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. An incredibly radical statement in the 1770s. And yet Lincoln saying that we must be a government of the people, by the people, for the people. And what I want to mention to you, and the main point today, is that we need your generation to help us sustain Lincoln's vision about democracy. And let me give you some of the challenges that we face, some that I worry about a lot, and I want you all to think about. When we in Vermont talk about democracy, what we often talking about is our town meetings, where people come together, like here, and they argue about how much they're going to spend on the roads or on schools or whatever. And everybody has one vote. One person, one vote is what we in Vermont understand democracy to be. But unfortunately, right now, nationally, that is not what democracy is. Right now, you have a small number of billionaires who can spend as much money as they want on an election. That is not democracy. And what I want you to be thinking about is how we revitalize American democracy, so that anybody who runs for office, I don't care what your political views are, you stand up and run for office and not have to spend half your life raising money from wealthy people. Help us revitalize democracy. And the second issue that I want to touch upon, and the young lady who introduced me mentioned it, is I want you to think about the future of America and what kind of society, what kind of nation you want to live in. Today, literally today, one man became a trillionaire. And that man himself will own more wealth than the bottom 53% of American households. So while one guy becomes a trillionaire, we have millions of people, over half of our people, living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to pay for health care, wondering how they're going to send their kids to college, wondering how they're going to afford housing and other basic necessities of life. And I want you all to think about the economy in the future and what kind of economy should we have? Should we have an economy where all of our people can enjoy a decent standard of living, where health care is a human right, not a privilege, where all of our kids can get the higher education they need without going deeply into debt, where people can afford housing, where we have a great child care system? Can we do that in the wealthiest nation in the history of the world? I want you to think about how we can bring that about. So the last point that I want to make is democracy is under attack in many, many ways. You live in the greatest democracy in the history of the world. And I want you not to turn your back on it. I want you to get involved. And again, I don't care what your political views are. Stand up and fight for what you believe in. Listen to people who have a different point of view. Argue with them. Learn from them. Be respectful. And let us do what we can to make sure that our small state leads this country in creating a vibrant democracy, one person, one vote. Thank you all very much, and congratulations to the graduates.
We're not up yet. Nope. Thank you, Senator. We are so pleased that you were able to join us this evening. I would like to welcome to the podium the senior class president, Chance Koenig.
Thank you to Senator Sanders for those kind words, and thank you to Chris Wyckoff for those kind words and lyrics. Before I begin, I want to remind the class of 2026 to drink water because it's really hot in here, and I don't want you to pass out when you're getting your diploma. I've spent hours in front of a blank screen with just my cursor blinking because even for someone who likes to talk as much as I do, I was at a loss for words. I wanted to write something to reflect on all of the memories and experiences of our class, but I came to the realization that I can't. Even though I'm only graduating with 58 other students, each of our stories is so unique that it would take hours to get through them. And I know that Mr. Thomas still has to finish grading essays, so I can't keep him here all night. We all have our own stories, but we also all have common experiences that bring us together in ways that other graduating classes with hundreds or even thousands of students could never imagine. We've shared so many positive moments, cheering on the Commodore Unified team, watching Mr. Kreisman sing Taylor Swift on our last day of 7th grade, or raising over $4,000 for the UVM Cancer Center at our walkathon just this past November. However, more so than our successes, it has been our shared challenges that have truly brought us even closer together. Of course, the biggest of those challenges was undoubtedly COVID. Because of the pandemic, we had to learn and relearn how to do so many things over the past 4 years. We had to learn how to communicate, how to behave, and how to advocate for ourselves and the people that we care about. In learning how to be acceptably social again, I've learned many different things from each and every one of you, things that I never would have learned on my own. I learned about farming from Calvin, among many others. I learned about boats and the Craigslist economy from Riker. I learned about football from Ryan. I learned about art and literature from Ellie. And I learned about our government, the best ways to be involved with it from Quincy, and about storytelling from Carter. More importantly, I learned about the power of community from all of you. Even when faced with things that try to undermine our community, we've stayed strong. While not everyone shows up for everything, we've all shown up in our own ways to support one another. We cheered for Peyton when he hit 100 career wins in wrestling, or Ashton when she got 1,000 career points in basketball. We trekked to Rutland to watch the girls' soccer team win the state championship versus People's Academy. We applauded Phoebe and Gina's incredible performances in the musical. And just Wednesday night, we celebrated with each other as senior awards and scholarships were presented to so many of us. More than that, though, we've had little moments, saying hi to each other in the halls, collectively complaining about Mr. Francis's chem tests or the rising use of AI, and congratulating each other on life accomplishments, big and small. Even when our community isn't loud, it's there in the background, supporting each and every one of us. Specifically, I think back to our senior skip day just a few weeks ago. I didn't know if anyone would show up or if anyone would bring anything. Slowly but surely, though, people came. They came with food, with drinks, and with games. It was quite honestly one of the best events that our class has hosted, especially one that was so last minute. It was fun mostly because everyone was there to celebrate our collective accomplishments as a tight-knit and welcoming community. Despite announcing it just days before, our class once again showed up for each other in so many different and unique ways. I know that I can always count on members of this class to help me out with anything, regardless of what it is or the time of day. Before I want to go, I want to thank a few of the hundreds of people that made tonight possible. Thank you to the VUHS faculty, staff, and administration, in particular the maintenance staff, for your tireless efforts. Thank you to Senator Sanders and his staff, in particular Sydney Hicks, for being with us tonight. Thank you to Chris Wyckoff for being with us over the past 4 years and inspiring us all. Thank you to the coaches, directors, employers, and other mentors who have guided us. And thank you to all of the families who've stuck with us through it all. Finally, to the class of 2026, thank you to each of you for helping each other reach this milestone and for being such important parts of each other's lives. Although we all have different paths ahead of us, and those paths may never cross again, I hope you'll remember your time here with at least some fondness, And I hope that even though the classes were brutal, even though the building was sweltering, just like today, and even though the schedule kept changing, you remember the times when someone in this class helped you out, and you remember the times that you did the same. I hope you know that beneath all of the forces keeping you down, you had a community building you back up. Thank you. Now, let's make it official. It's time for the most exciting moment, the presentation of diplomas. I would like to invite Jody Chamberlain and Melissa Welikoff to join me at the podium for this portion of the ceremony. I would also like to welcome Sheila Soul, Superintendent of Schools, Mark Koenig, Chair of the ANWSD School Board, and Susan Oliveira and Rebecca Edelman, our school counselors, to the stage at this time. Calvin A. Almeida. Kyan Solana Barkham. Morgan Beenan. Tegan Buskey. Kyle Clark. McKenna Lee Cram. Isla Crowley. Allegra DeBoer. Connor Dempsey. Octavia Grace Devine. Theodorus Garrett Elzinga. Nyla Fitzgerald. Abigail Elizabeth Flint. Ava Francis. Aiden Fuller. Sawyer Garthafner. Amelia Giroux. Jesse Goff. Scotty Herter Sosinski. Alfredo Hernandez Baltazar. Elijah Holmes. D. Hunt. Scout Jacobson. Mia Joan Kadar. Peyton A. Lavoie. Gina LeBeau. Elliot McDonough. Peter Manine. Faith Elizabeth McAllister. Carter McGuire. Lily Morris. Riker Moshauer. Jackson Paquin. James Peterson. Isabella Pratt. Maya B. Provencher. Aiden Putnam. Phoebe Alice Raphael. Lydia Raymond. Libby May Ringer. Gabriel Connor Rusin. Quincy Ann Sabick. Dakota Safford. Jose Francisco Santiago Loyola. Jaden Stedman. Ashton Stearns. Logan Stearns. Kenneth Sullivan. Logan Timothy Tebow. Abigail Helena Corrine Visser. Rudolph Jonathan Forsteveld. Hunter West. Evan White. Alexis Wilvison. Eleanor Wilkinson-Sachs. Garrett B. Wood. Ryan Thomas Wright.
And Chance Allen Ty Koenig. For our last tradition, we would like to invite Phoebe Raphael to the stage to leave a challenge to the class of 2027.
Dear class of 2027, welcome to the start of your last year of high school. As soon as we finish walking the stage, you will be the new VUHS seniors. Congratulations. Thinking back on my time here, the good days, the bad days, and everything in between, I'm so grateful for all of the opportunities this community has offered me. I hope you feel the same. As you approach your final year of high school, you're going to be told so many different things about what to expect. Some will be true and some not so much. People will tell you how quickly the time will pass, how senioritis is no joke, and you'll probably be subjected to constant questions about your future. Still, I would encourage you not to take it all too seriously. Now, I'm not telling you to skip class every day, though I'm sure some of you will. What I am asking you to consider is bolder. Let your senior year be one in which you allow yourself to try something new, step out of your comfort zone, to be fearless, to make mistakes, and to grow beyond the world you already know. Over the course of 4 years, it's easy to get wrapped up in the flurry of assignments and deadlines, to get stuck in the same routine with the same small group of people. This is not by any means a bad thing, but the world outside of high school is so vast, with an infinite number of people to meet and things to experience. Don't limit yourself to what's familiar and easy. In a year, you'll be planning new adventures with high school in the rear view. Now is the time to take risks, to try something different, and to learn a thing or two about yourself. So I would like to challenge you, the class of 2027, to expand your horizons. Join a new club, make a new friend, maybe even audition for the spring musical. Though Vergennes may be small, it has so much to offer you. Opportunities are everywhere. Please don't be afraid to look. With love, the class of 2026. Ms. Chamberlain, can you please come back to the podium to present the class of 2026?
I'm playing their walkout song on my phone. Okay. The tassel before graduation symbolizes your time as a student. When you move it to the other side, you are confirming your newfound graduate status. Today, this simple but beautiful tradition is performed at commencements across the country. At this time, please move your tassel to the left. Congratulations to the class of Vergennes 2026.